Welcome back to Houston Live. Thank you for sticking with us. Derek will be back next week. Here's the big question. Are you ready to rodeo? There is an event next weekend in Fort Bend County honoring the legacy of Black cowboys and educators.
And here to tell us more about the 4th annual Black Cowboy Legacy Rodeo is Debra Greenwood-Sharp, rodeo co-chair and Fort Bend History Association Board of Trustees. You're also the founder of this organization, and it's so exciting for people who may not have taken part in it yet. Tell us how it all works.
Yeah.
Well, you know, ladies, first on behalf of the Fort Bend History Association, I want to thank you all for having us here and allowing us this opportunity to showcase what we have out in Fort Bend, honoring the legacy of our Black cowboys out there. And we're just excited, we're thrilled. This event begins with a strong, solid committee. And then from there, it goes on to the staff and then to our great sponsors and our volunteers. This rodeo began over 100 years ago. There were 4 generations of Black cowboys that worked alongside of 4 generations of the George family there. And I'm proud to say that I'm a part of one of those generations.
Wow.
Yes, my grandmother was a housekeeper to Mamie George. My grandfather was a right-hand man to Mr. George. And my uncle, Willie Thomas Sr., became the world-famous bull rider at the 2 years ago. So he's inducted into the Bull Riders Hall of Fame in Fort Worth, and we're very proud. And being on the board allowed me the opportunity and the platform to be able to showcase what my family knows and what the things that are happening out in Fort Bend that is really quiet and kept, but people do not know about. So this event that we're putting on is just magical. Yeah. It's a fun-filled, family-friendly day. And throughout the whole day, there's events going on. Beginning at 4 p.m. is when the gates open. And we have a contractor, RJ. He's been our contractor for 3 years. He's our stockman. He's the one that brings the cattle to us. So it's just a big event, big event.
And Deborah, I want to ask you one of the things just about this being historic for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of times in history, we don't see images of Black cowboys. Talk about how that's important to you to let people know, yes, Black cowboys and cowgirls exist, and talk about that history significance in your family. You
know, you're so right. We must respect and reflect our ancestors because, as we all know, we are our ancestors' greatest dreams. And with that being said, Black cowboys were the main ones that ran the whole ranch. They made the ranch what it was today, back then, and it is today. Black cowboys, they were the ones that got out there in the gridiron. They're the ones who did the hard work. They're the ones who took care of their families by doing what people call today as a sport. There was their lifestyle back then, and they appreciated doing it, and they were skilled at it. Talking about the roping, my uncle, the bull riding, you know, all of that, and it all plays into part. And Fort Bend County, being out back what they called then the country, you know, there was lots of land and many different farms and ranches. So the cowboys played an intricate role in that by utilizing their skills to make the ranch survive and take care of their families. So with us putting on this rodeo, we're sharing it with the whole world, Harris County, Fort Bend County, Houston, and surrounding counties to come out and have a great time with us on that day and allow us to educate. You know, our motto with the Fort Bend History Association is preserve the past, educate the present, and inspire the future.
And what I love as people are learning about this history is that they're going to go to this event, not only learn about the history, but have fun. And it all comes together. Tell us about some of the events that we'll see next Saturday, February 11th at the George Rance Arena.
Well, beginning at 4 p.m., we have what we call the hitching post. The hitching post opens up, and on the hitching post we have a stage. And the stage, we have lots of talent in Fort Bend County. We have the Southern Connection line dancing, where they're going to ask everybody to participate in
their
line dance. Then we have Cyndia Loves Fitness. They're dancing. We have new to this year, Greg Saxman Daniels and Little Sax. They're going to be performing as well. We also have in the Grand Entry Parade, which is magical. And that begins at 6:30. We have the world-renowned singer, Janae Shanae. She's going to be performing our Negro National Anthem. We have retired Major Garvey Jones. He's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And we also have Mr. Smokey Cover, who's been with us for 3 years. And he's our poet, laureate. And then we have just the sponsors and everybody, and it's just big fun. And we also have foodie trucks, and we also have craft vendors, so come out.
It sounds like so amazing. Thank you so much for being here, Deborah. And if you are interested in the Black Cowboy Legacy Rodeo, we put more information on HoustonLife.com. Just click on the Scene On section.